Now in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm a junior student in university.
And what are you studying?
My major is music engineering. Yeah, it is a comprehensive subject, including composing and arrangement, recording engineering, master engineering, and mixing engineering.
Have you always wanted to study music engineering?
Actually, it is an accident to go that major, because my first and the second choice is to music education. But I didn't get selected, so the assistant put me into this subject.
What do you like about your course?
I think it's quite awesome. It is different than others normal subject. Traditional music is about the education and performance, but it is quite different. It is about put more about attention in pop music rather than classical music. I think it's cool.
Let's talk about being a teenager.
Okay.
Do you spend much time with teenagers now?
Yeah, of course. Spending time with teenagers, I can feel it makes me feel fresh and younger, and they have all the time they need, so I just really envy them. Besides, teenagers are the future actually. So you talking with them, you will know the future trend of what will become.
What activities do teenagers in your country enjoy doing?
They usually like to go movies with friends, or go shopping, or just have afternoon tea and sit there to chat with their friends. Sorry.
Do you pay much attention to teenage fashion?
Actually, no, because it isn't too hard and expensive to follow all the fashions, and sometimes the fashion is just not suitable for me. So if I follow all of those things, it will become a disaster.
What do you think is the best thing about being a teenager?
I never saw that before. They have the energetic and enough brave to do the things they never do it, and they have time to finish their dream. So I just not brave as when I'm little. So yeah.
Let's talk about computers and the internet. Do you use a computer for your study?
Yeah, of course. I almost use it every day.
Why?
Because I can do my homework at the computer and listen music, watching movies, and something like that.
Did you learn to use the internet when you were a child?
When I'm little, I'm not usually use the internet because it is not popular at that time, and now I use it every day because I can't live it.
Do you think the way people use computers has changed much?
Yeah, of course. For example, the phone is faster than writing letters, and the WhatsApp or Skype are faster than Telegram. It's more convenient for now.
Now, in this next part, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to describe it. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. And you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Understand.
Okay, so here's a paper and pencil for making notes. And here is your topic. I'd like you to describe a traditional product made in your country which you like. Alright, now remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you, I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. Let me tell you something about the traditional product in China. His name is Liang Xi. We used to use it in the summer, and in the old time, without air conditioning, if we we don't have air conditioning in the past time, but we used the Liang Xi to solve the hot problem. And when I was little, my grandmother will put the Liang Xi for me so that I can feel cooler when I'm sleeping. And this product is made by bamboo, and it is more environmental friendly, and you save the electronic energy, and it is quite convenient, more environmental friendly, and it is popular in the Chinese family, especially for the old people. They will prefer the Liang Xi more, learn air conditioning, because if you spend too long time in the air conditioning room, then you may get a cold, and it is bad for your house. So if I can bear the temperature, I would choose Liang Xi rather than air conditioning.
Okay, thank you. Can I please have the paper and pencil and the booklet back?
Yeah. Thanks.
Sure. Okay, now we've been talking about a traditional product made in your country, which you like, and I'd like to discuss with you 1 or 2 more general issues related to this.
Okay.
So let's consider first of all traditional products. What kinds of traditional products are made in China?
I think that it is the product in the past, because Chinese have 5,000 years history, so I think it is in the ancient times. Yeah.
So right now they don't make any traditional products?
Sorry, what does that mean?
So nowadays nobody makes traditional products anymore.
Of course not. There are still a part of people do it.
So what kinds of traditional products do they make?
The 中国结. You know that it is use the strings to spin them in a score, and they will put their things in the door during the Spring Festival. Yeah.
Anything else?
Let me think. 对联. We will write the paper, put on the doors right and left. It will write some sentence that wish can have a better next year. Yeah.
Do you think the traditional products are generally of better quality than modern ones?
Modern what?
Modern ones. Modern products.
Modern products. I think it depends, because some modern product is with technical skills. It is actually good than traditional product, but some traditional product, it has special meaning in our culture, so it can be replaced by the modern product.
How about handmade products? Do you think they are generally better than ones that are made in a factory?
Of course. I when I buy shoes or buy some furniture, I will first choose and the handmade one because in most of conditions the made one will better than the industrial one because it is more exquisite than the industrial one and more special.
How might traditional products help a country's tourism industry?
Pardon?
How might traditional products help a country's tourism industry?
Most of most of the time when people go to travel, they will buy some souvenir from that place. So a traditional product is the first choice for most of people.
What kinds of things do they usually buy?
I will buy the refrigerator magnet, and because my father like it, and he will buy it every time when he go outside, travel some countries. Yeah.
Let's talk about the importance of tradition. How important is it for people to learn about the tradition of their country?
I think that it is vital to know about your country's culture because it is your own things. You have to know exactly what yourself it is and learn to know other ones.
What happens if people don't learn that?
Because they will forget who they are. They don't know where they come from, what they actually be, the true themselves.
Should young people be taught about traditions at home or at school?
Yes, because
Which one? Home or school?
I think both of them are important because children get the knowledge from two ways: the school and the family. So both of them, the ways are important.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, so here is a video covering in part 1 the topics of teenagers and the internet, computers and the internet, and in part 2 a traditional product, and in part 3 traditional products and the importance of tradition. So let's have a listen.
Now in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm a junior student in university.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? Why not just say I'm a junior in university? Drop the student, just I'm a junior.
And what are you studying?
My major is music engineering. Yeah, it is a comprehensive subject, including composing and arrangement, recording engineering, master engineering, and mixing engineering.
Okay, there's a lot of vocabulary here, but it's not really very impressive because this question asks specifically about you, and you definitely should be able to talk about yourself. Let's just look at this here. So here, including, and then we have nouns. Composing, the ing, arrangement is a noun, although she didn't pronounce arrangement correctly. Engineering, so after including, please use nouns.
Have you always wanted to study music engineering?
Actually, it is an accident to go that major.
Okay, some problems here. So it turned out to be an accident for me to have taken that major, or I accidentally chose this major, but this should be an adverb. I guess you can use it as a noun. You can say it was an accident for me to choose that major, but not as it is here.
Because my first and the second choice is to music education.
My first and second choice was music education. There's no to, no My first and second choice was music education, okay?
Yeah, but I didn't get selected, so the assistant put me into this subject.
I don't know how it works in China, but the system chose this major for me. The system chose this major for me.
Yeah.
What do you like about your course?
I think it's quite awesome, you know, it is different
Notice how many times she says you know.
than others normal subject.
Okay, it's quite awesome. It's different from other normal subjects, plural.
You know,
You know again.
traditional music is about
And she says traditional. It's traditional.
the education and performance, but it is quite different. It is about put more about attention in pop music.
It focuses more on pop music. It focuses more attention on pop music.
Rather than classical music. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Let's talk about being.
So far, not bad. The pronunciation is pretty good. The fluency is pretty good. I do think she uses you know too much, but okay. The grammar and vocabulary, we see some problems, but nothing terrible.
Let's talk about being a teenager.
Okay.
Do you spend much time with teenagers now?
Yeah, of course. You know,
Why, of course.
spending time with teenagers, I can feel.
Nope. It's not spending time with teenagers. I can feel when I spend time with teenagers, I can feel. When I spend time with teenagers, I can feel. What do you feel?
I can feel. It just makes me feel fresh.
Okay, so she started here with I can feel. I don't know why she just didn't continue and say I can feel fresh. Why did she repeat this here?
I feel fresh and younger, you know, and they have all the time they need, so I just really envy them. Besides,
Okay. Again, I think she uses you know too much. Sometimes she just says no. At least here we have besides. Teenagers are what?
teenagers are the future, actually.
That's a good phrase. Teenagers are the future, yeah.
So you talking with them, you will know the future trend of what will become.
The future trends. Okay, so by talking, so it's not so you talking. So by talking to them, you can find out about future trends, or you can find out what the future trends are going to be. Okay, small mistakes here.
What activities do teenagers in your country enjoy doing?
You know,
You know.
they usually like to go movies with.
But like here, she doesn't even say go to. She missed the to. That's a pretty basic error. Okay, so they like to go to movies with their friends.
Friends, or
Now, did she really say his?
usually like to go movies with friends, or
Oh, no, she didn't. She just said with friends. So let's get rid of that. With friends. It would be weird if she said with his friends. Okay, they go to movies with friends, yeah, and
or go shopping, or just have afternoon tea and sit there to chat with their friends. Sorry.
okay, now, a bit of a problem here. So they like to go or go, but here there's no to, or to go shopping, or just have afternoon tea. Sit there and chat with their people. What did I mishear this? Chat with their people.
Sit there to chat with their Friends, sorry.
Oh, okay, she corrected herself. Chat with her friends. Okay. If you do make a mistake, if you correct yourself, I don't think it's a good idea to say sorry. That just focuses attention on the mistake you just made. Maybe don't say sorry.
Friends, sorry.
Do you pay much attention to teenage fashion?
Actually, not, because
Do you pay? Do you pay? No, actually, I don't. Again, this is a pretty basic error.
actually, not, because, it isn't too hard and expensive to follow all of fashions.
Okay, now fashions are not, or fashion I should say, fashion is not countable. So it's not fashions. It's too expensive to follow all the fashion trends. And again, with the
And sometimes the fashion is just not.
And there isn't a singular fashion, so there's no the. And sometimes fashion, but where's the verb here? Is just not. Is there an adjective? Oh, okay. I don't know what she said. Let's listen.
The fashion is just not suitable for me.
I think she tried to say suitable, but it came out as. What did she say?
Not suitable for me.
Suitable. It's suitable. Anyway, suitable is an adjective, so we do need a be verb here. And sometimes. Oh, now I understand why she said the, because she's referring to the teenage fashion. So then, okay, suggestion. And sometimes teenage fashion is just not for me. Use teenage there.
For me, so if I follow all of those things, it will become a disaster.
Become a disaster? Yeah, it'll be a disaster. That's not a bad phrase to use.
What do you think is the best thing about being a teenager?
Again with the there is such a thing as overusing discourse markers.
Really, I never saw that before.
Okay, so what you should have said here is, I never really thought about that before. I never really thought about that before.
They saw that before. They have the energetic.
Now, energetic is an adjective, so they have the energy. Also here, brave is an adjective. So they have the energy and the bravery, or they have the energy and enough bravery. Energy, bravery. These are adjectives.
And enough brave to do the things they never do it. And
to do the things they've never done before. To do the things they've never done before.
They have time to finish their dream.
Whoa, what did I do here? They have time to finish their dreams. They have time to finish their dreams. What was the question here? What's the best thing about being a teenager? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
They never do it, and they have time to finish their dream. So, I just not brave as when I'm little. So, yeah.
Again, it's just a pity about the vocabulary and the grammar. Okay, so brave. Again, where's the verb? There's no be verb. So I was just not that brave when I was younger, not little. Teenagers not little. They're just younger than you are. So I just wasn't as brave as when I... No. That's not right. Let me try again. I just wasn't as brave when I was younger. I just wasn't as brave when I was younger.
I just not brave as when I'm little. So, yeah.
And ending your sentences with so yeah. So yeah, what? It sounds like you have more to say.
Let's talk about computers and the internet. Do you use a computer for your study?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. She said that before. Again, yeah, of course. Here I can kind of understand why she says yes, of course, because I think most people do use computers. Almost. I use it almost every day. I use it almost every day.
Why?
Okay, you will see a lot of videos that you or books that you read have the question and then immediately they have why, which is weird. The only reason there's a why in the question is if your response is too short. Then the examiner will ask you why, so you can expand a little bit on your answer, because this is too short.
Because, I
Again, how many is that now?
can do my homework at the computer.
She got this right, at the computer. I don't think many people will actually say at.
And listen music, watching movies.
But again, she doesn't say to, listen to music. Okay, so I can do my homework at the computer, I can listen to music, but then here, why is there an ing? Because this listen goes with the modal can. Can do my homework, can listen, can watching. There should be no ing there.
Listen music, watching movies, and something like that.
Something like that. Well, okay, in this case, it's pretty easy to imagine what she means, like stuff that most people do on the computer. But be careful with saying something like that, because the examiner can't guess what you're trying to say. And if you say that, it kind of shows that you don't have the vocabulary necessary to discuss the topic. Be careful with that.
Did you learn to use the internet when you were a child?
When I'm little, I
When I was little.
not usually use the internet.
A be verb with a main verb. So when I was little, I didn't usually use the internet because it wasn't popular. The tense is wrong here. When I was little, I didn't usually use the internet because it wasn't popular. I'm not sure popular is the right word. It wasn't very common. I think she's maybe confusing popular and common.
Because it is not popular at that time.
If something is popular, it means a lot of people like it. If something is common, it means you can find a lot of examples of that. And here, I think she should have said common.
And now I use it every day because I can't live it.
I think she's trying to say I can't live without it, but she said I can't live it. Problems with vocabulary.
I can't live it.
Do you think the way people use computers has changed much?
Present perfect tense. Let's see if she uses the present perfect tense.
Yeah, of course.
Again, of course.
For example, the phone is faster than the later and the WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is a name of an app, so there's no the. So WhatsApp or Skype.
Skype are faster than Telegram.
Faster than the Telegram. But let's go back to the question. Do you think the way people use computers has changed much? So what is going on here with the phone and the letter? Maybe she confused computer with technology.
The WhatsApp or Skype are faster than Telegram. It's more convenient.
It's more convenient.
For now.
Okay, see here part 2 begins. So maybe they ran out of time. But if the examiner asks you this question and you start talking about the telephone and the letter, if there's time, which here there isn't time because here part 2 begins. If there's time, they're going to repeat the question because you didn't answer the question. You didn't talk about computers. You talked about letters and telegrams. Okay.
Now, this next part, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to describe it. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. And you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Understand.
Okay, so here's a paper and pen.
Okay, just one thing. This is a yes/no question, and you don't answer yes/no questions by repeating the verb. You answer yes/no questions by saying yes or no. You can't say understand. That's not a proper answer. Not a big deal, but it does create a bad impression.
Okay, so here's a paper and pencil for making notes. And here is your topic. I'd like you to describe a traditional product made in your country which you like. Alright. Now remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. Let me tell you something about.
In the beginning of part 2, please make sure that you speak clearly. What did she say here?
Sure. Let me tell you something about.
If the examiner misses what you say in the beginning, it's going to be difficult for them to follow the rest of your part 2.
The traditional product in China. His name is Liang Xi.
Don't worry about using words that are not English if this is the name of the thing you're talking about. That doesn't matter.
We used to use it in the summer, and in the old time without air conditioning.
In the old times, if you want to say this, it's got to be times. We lived without air conditioning. We were without air conditioning, but we do need a verb here. We lived or we were without air conditioning.
Sorry.
Okay, maybe she's a little bit nervous.
We don't have air conditioning in the past time.
Okay, because the problem's here with the tense. We didn't have air conditioning in the past. There's no time. We didn't have air conditioning in the past.
But we used Liang Xi to solve the hot problem.
The heat problem.
And
We need the adjective here. There's no hot problem. It got to be adjective, noun.
when I was little, my grandmother
She uses will to talk about the past.
put the Liang Xi for me. So
Put the liangxi for me. Put is maybe not the best verb here. She would put it on the bed for me, I guess, or put it on the floor. Not put it for me. You can't put something for someone. You can put something somewhere. She would put it on the bed or put it on the floor.
for me, so that I can feel cooler when I'm sleeping. And
Again, she uses the present tense so that I could feel cooler when I was sleeping, not slipping, sleeping. How many you knows is that now?
this product is made by bamboo.
Here it's okay to use the present tense because I guess they still make it. So it's made from bamboo, not by bamboo. It's made from bamboo.
And it is more environmental friendly.
This is an adjective, so here we need an adverb. Environmentally friendly. It's more environmentally friendly.
And you save the electronic energy. And
I think she means electricity. And you save electricity?
it is quite convenient, more environmental friendly.
Okay, so something happened here. She's saying the same thing again. If you're nervous, things go wrong. Things go wrong. People go off track sometimes. But she had problems here using a comparative. It's quite convenient more. I think after she said this, she realized, oh my God, what am I saying? And then this happened. So it's more convenient. There's no quite. You can't say quite more. It's more convenient, but then I don't know. I think she wanted to say it's more convenient than electricity, maybe. I don't know. But then she started talking about environmentally friendly. So she repeated what she said before.
Environmental friendly.
And then there's this long pause. but she says nothing. That is a killer if you can't continue talking. Bad sign for fluency.
It is popular in the Chinese family, you know, especially for the old people.
Okay, maybe she took some time to think, but she took way too long to think, and now she starts talking again.
They will prefer the 两栖 more, learn air conditioning.
Okay, not the right words here. And I'm not sure why she's using will here. They prefer, I'm going to say the 两栖 also, because she says that. Okay, so they prefer the 两栖 over air conditioning. Or they prefer the 两栖 to air conditioning. To or over, not more than. You can't prefer something more than something else. If you prefer something, it is already more. Prefer to, prefer over.
Or learn air conditioning, because, you know, if you spend a too long time
There's no
in the air conditioning room,
if you spend too much time, not long time, if you spend too much time in an air-conditioned room,
that you may get a cold, and it is bad for your house. So
now I know she means, maybe I should change this. I mean, I know she wanted to say house, but she did say house. But I'm going to change. All right, let's go on here.
cold, and it is bad for your house. So,
Health.
if I can bear the temperature, I
Here's some good language. Bear the temperature. Yes, great. Bear temperature. Yeah, or stand the temperature.
would choose 两栖 rather than air conditioning.
Air conditioning. Okay, she's laughing. Maybe she knows that didn't go too well. Especially that long period of time where she didn't say anything.
Thank you. Can I please have the paper and pencil and the booklet back?
Yeah. Thanks.
Sure. Okay, now we've been talking about a traditional product made in your country, which you like, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general issues related to this.
Okay.
So let's consider first of all traditional products. What kinds of traditional products are made in China?
I think that it is the product in the past because
What kind of products are made in China? Are made in China. Are. I think it's the products in the past. But what does that mean? Does that mean, is she trying to say nowadays people don't make traditional products anymore?
I think that it is the product in the past because, you know, Chinese have 5,000 years history.
China has a 5,000 year history. There's no S. China has a 5,000 year history.
So I think it is in the ancient times.
But what is she saying now? It is in the old. What does the it mean? So I think. Oh wait, did she say it? I misunderstand what she said.
It is
I think it is the.
So I think it is
It is the. Yeah, she did say it. So I think it is the. I don't know what the it is. Does the it mean the manufacturing of traditional products? I think she's trying to say people manufactured traditional products in ancient times. Again, ancient times, there's no the. People manufactured traditional products in ancient times, but they don't now because we live in a modern era or whatever.
in the ancient times. Yeah.
So right now, they don't make any traditional products?
Sorry, what does that mean?
So nowadays, nobody makes traditional products anymore.
Of course not. There are still a part of people do it.
There's still parts of people. So there are still some people who do it. There are still some people who do it.
Do it.
So what kinds of traditional products do they make?
The
She's not sure if she should say the Chinese. It doesn't matter. If something has a Chinese name or whatever language, just say the name. The examiner doesn't care about that. A name is a name.
中国结 you know that it is use the strings to string them in a
String them. So strings are strung. That's what she should have said here. String, strang, strung. So strings are strung in a
score and
I don't know about the score. I mean, I'm not saying this is wrong, but I don't know how you make these things. Maybe it is a score. I'm not sure.
will put their things in the door.
Not in the door. They will put them on the door. They put this decoration. This is that thing. Thing is so vague. Don't use the word thing. So people put these decorations on their doors.
The door during the spring festival.
There's no just during Spring Festival.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Let me think.
Maybe it's not fair to ask her for another example.
对联. You know we will write the paper.
We can write papers. We can write on a paper. So we write on a piece of paper and then put it on the door. The door, no S.
Put on the doors right and left.
Oh, okay. So we write on piece of paper and put them beside the door. Beside the door. Not the door right and left. I mean, if you want to say right and left, it has to be to the right and to the left of the door. But that's more complicated. To the left and to the right of the door.
And left. Or say write some sentence that
No, it will write. No. It cannot write anything. It will contain some sentences. It'll contain some sentences.
wish can have a better next year. Yeah.
It will write some sentences that we can have. Okay, so it contains some sentences wishing for a prosperous new year. I think that's what she wanted to say. Wishing for a prosperous new year. I believe that's what it says.
Do you think the traditional products are generally of better quality than modern ones?
Modern what?
Modern ones.
Okay, so if you don't understand in part 3, well, actually in any part, it's fine to ask. It's okay.
Modern products.
Modern products. I think it depends because some modern product is with technical skills.
Maybe this was a verb. I don't know. I can't hear what you said. Some modern products, maybe it's are made.
Product is with tech.
I don't know. It should be are made. Are made with technical skills. Well, I don't know what you said there.
Technical skills. It is actually good than pretend.
Good than, better than, better than.
Product, but some traditional product it has special meaning in our culture, so it can be replaced by the modern product.
Okay, this is a good idea here. This is actually a great idea here. Some traditional products, but then she says it has. Why? Here is the noun. Here's the subject, traditional products. Why do you want to put an it there? Some traditional products have special meaning in our culture. Great idea. So they can't be replaced by modern products. But there's no the. It's a good idea, but there's a lot of mistakes here. Some traditional products have special meaning in our culture, so they can't be replaced. I do like the this can't be replaced. The passive, that's pretty good. But just too many mistakes. No the, and this should be plural s.
How about handmade products. Do you think they are generally better than ones that are made in a factory?
Of course, when I buy shoes or buy some furniture, I will first choose and the handmade.
I don't know why she said and here. I don't know why she says would. Just I first choose. There's no word, there's no would. I first choose the handmade one.
One because in the most of conditions
I don't know what you wanted to say here. It can't be in the models because in the I don't know. I'd have to guess. She kind of lost me here. I didn't quite understand what she's saying.
in most of conditions the metal one will better than
The metal one? The what?
the metal one will better than the.
Oh, the made one. Oh, now I got it. Made. But she just said made. She didn't say handmade. Oh, I heard metal first. The made. Okay, the handmade one. Handmade, not made. The handmade one. Okay. Gotcha.
Conditions, the metal one will better than
Will be better. This is an adjective. We need a be verb.
the industry one.
It's not the industry one. It's the mass-produced one. Mass-produced. If you make thousands of something in a factory, those are mass-produced. Better than the mass-produced ones.
It is more. It is more exquisite.
If you say exquisite, well, I don't know. I think most people probably say exquisite. She was worried about pronunciation here. But I think if you just say exquisite, it's okay. That's better than this repetition, this self-correction. If you want to say exquisite, even though it's exquisite, the difference is so small.
Then the industrial one and more special.
The mass-produced one.
How might traditional products help a country's tourism industry?
Pardon?
How might traditional products help a country's tourism industry?
Yeah, see, actually, in part 3, if you don't understand the question, the examiner is supposed to rephrase the question, not use the same words. Oops. How many times have we heard
Most of most of time.
Okay, so she wanted to say tourists, but she couldn't say it. But I can hear she wanted to say tourist. Now she's paraphrasing. She says,
Most of the time when people go to travel.
okay, so she couldn't say tourist, but she says well, it should be but anyway, most of the time when people travel. Okay, so she couldn't quite say tourist. She's just paraphrasing that. That's not bad, but why didn't she just say tourist? I could hear it on the tip of her tongue. She just didn't say it.
Will buy some souvenir from that place. So a traditional product is the first choice for most of people.
Okay, so I guess there's an idea here. So selling souvenirs at popular tourist destinations, that's one way of helping the economy of that region or the economy of a country. I guess that's the idea in there.
What kinds of things do they usually buy?
But then she talks about herself.
Will buy the refrigerator magnet.
Again, I don't know why she says I don't know why she says will. I buy refrigerator magnets. But why not just change the I to they? They. They buy refrigerator magnets.
And because my father
And then she gets very personal with her dad. See, the problem is this personal experience is right in the beginning of the answer. I mean, I really do suggest that you try not to use your own personal life to support your answer in part 3. If you try talking in the general and you can't think of anything, then okay, try the personal. But don't start with the personal. That's a bad idea.
Because my father like it, and he will buy it every
I don't know why she uses will all the time. Because every time, so it should be present tense. He buys it every time.
time when he go outside, troublesome countries.
Okay, and if you are Chinese and you speaking English, we don't say go outside. Outside travel. This does not exist in English. So whenever he travels to some other countries, whenever he travels to some, oh, maybe she means abroad. When he goes abroad. Maybe, but it's not outside.
Let's talk about the importance of tradition. How important is it for people to learn about the tradition of their country?
I think that it is vital
Vital is not a bad word.
to know about your country's culture, because it is your own things.
She didn't say using, did she?
Culture, because it is your own thing.
Yeah, she said it is. It is your own thing. Okay, it is your own thing. She uses the word thing. I think the word identity is a much, much, much better word. Okay, it is your identity. Because look at this next sentence here. She kind of messed it up, but this next sentence makes me think she wants to say identity.
Because it is your own things. You have to know exactly what yourself it is, and
Here the grammar kind of fails her. You have to know exactly what. You have to know exactly who you are. You have to know exactly who you are. And who you are is your identity. So here she should have used the word identity.
learn to know other ones.
Okay, and here she made up a new word. There aren't. There are no other ones. See, with grammar like this and vocabulary like this, I don't think you can get more than a 5. No, not I think. You can't get more than a 5 for that.
What happens if people don't learn that?
Because they will forget who they are.
Because the question is, what happens? And she says, because.
Because they will forget who they are. They don't know what exactly where they come from.
They don't know where they come from.
What they actually be.
What they actually are. Maybe who they actually are. But anyway, this cannot be be, it must be are.
The true themselves.
Their true selves. Their true selves.
Should young people be taught about traditions at home or at school?
Yes, because
Which
Yeah, this question is asking you A or B. You can't say yes. You have to choose one.
yes, because
which one? Home or school?
That was a little bit abrupt there. Hopefully your examiner is friendly.
I think both of them are important, because children gain the knowledge from two ways.
Okay, gain and knowledge. These two go together pretty well. Children gain knowledge from only 2 ways. Okay, I understand that. She has really big problems with the. There's no the here. This is not a tangible noun, so there's no the.
And the family, so both of them, the ways are important.
Both of them, the ways are important. Both the ways, both ways, both ways. Both ways are important. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of this speaking test.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So I'm thinking fluency and coherence 5, because of part 2, that long pause. In part 1, she didn't answer one of the questions. She talked about something else. in part 3, sometimes I couldn't quite understand what she was saying. Vocabulary, also 5. Grammar, also 5. There were just too many cases of the grammar being faulty for the vocabulary, too many instances of her using the wrong words. Pronunciation, though, I'd say 6. She did use some stress, and even though she mispronounced some words, usually it's pretty easy to hear what she's saying. But there are those features. She uses intonation, she uses stress, so pronunciation is probably her best feature.